Hello friends, this is Basuraj Bene coming out with my next video on glucose tolerance test, and this is oral glucose tolerance test. And this test is carried out to measure the body's response to glucose or sugar, you can call it as. And this is used to screen diabetes mellitus. Means to know whether the patient is less severe or severe, or is suffering from diabetes or is not suffering from diabetes. To check, you are doing this glucose tolerance test. And before doing this test, you should see that when you are doing this test on any patient or any person, in that case you have to see that the person who is taking any such drugs which are affecting the carbohydrate metabolism should be discontinued for at least 2 days, because that will lead to wrong interpretations. So for that purpose, you have to see that if any medication that person is taking which are affecting the carbohydrate metabolism, that you have to see that. And another precaution has to be taken is the person should take rich carbohydrate diet for 3 days before the test, so that this test will give right interpretation, and you can say that perfectly the test is giving you right results to know the patient is suffering from diabetes or not. And you can define this GTT, that is the ability of an organism or person to respond to the in maintaining the blood sugar in the phase load of glucose absorbed from the intestine or administered parenterally. So that is how, when you give this dose of glucose, extra dose of glucose is given, you will check the response of the body, that you are checking, and body will respond depending upon the condition, whether he is normal person not having any glucose diabetes. In that case, the person will behave differently. If he is suffering from diabetes less severe, then he will behave differently. The interpretation will be different, or the peak pattern followed will be different. In case of severe diabetic patient, if you do this GTT, the peak pattern or the glucose level will be different. So that is checked. And coming to the procedure for oral glucose tolerance test, this is conducted in post-absorptive state. That is, for the person or the patient is not given any food overnight. Any food is not given to that patient. So in the morning, you are checking for the fasting sample of blood and urine. So when you check the blood sample, it should be a the blood sugar level will be fasting sugar, fasting level, that is 60 to 90 mg. That should be the glucose level in the fasting sample, normal fasting sample. So that is the range of 60 to 90 mg. So when you pick that sample, fasting sample, blood sugar should be that much, and there should be no presence of glucose in urine in the fasting sample. That's how. After that, when you check this, confirm this, and then you are giving the dose of 75 grams of glucose in 300 ml of water for a period of 5 minutes. Then after that, we are picking up every half an hour, picking up the blood sample as well as urine sample for 3 hours. Every half an hour sample are separately collected, urine sample and blood sample, and checked for the concentration of glucose in blood and presence of glucose in urine sample. That you have to check every half an hour sample. 3 hours means 6 samples are collected. That's how we'll carry out. After once you carry out that, then you will come to know whether he is having normal glucose tolerance, decreased glucose tolerance, increased carbohydrate tolerance. That depends. So normal GTT is seen in case of a normal person who is not suffering from diabetes, and the fasting blood sugar level in case of normal person is around 60 to 90 mg per 100 ml. But when you give this extra dose of glucose, that will increase to 100 to 140 mg per 100 ml within a time span of 1 or 1.5 hours. And in case of old patients, it may go little high, up to 170 mg per 100 ml. And this will come down to fasting level by 2.5 hours. Why it will come down to fasting level? Because of overactivity of insulin. Insulin is stimulated due to increased blood sugar level, because you have given extra dose of glucose. that will stimulate the secretion of insulin, which will bring down utilize that glucose, and it will bring down the glucose level to fasting level. So that increased glucose level will return to fasting level by 3 hours. That is by adrenaline action. And urine samples are negative for glucose. And acetone, smell of acetone is not seen in breath. Urine sample is negative and acetone's smell is not seen in breath. So that should be negative. In case of decreased GTT, this condition is seen in patients who are suffering from diabetes. Any person who is suffering from diabetes is less severe or more severe. If it is more severe, there will be much decrease in the tolerance. Less severe, less decrease, but there will be decrease in tolerance, glucose tolerance, in case of patient suffering from diabetes. So fasting blood sugar level in case of diabetes, a patient suffering from diabetes will be in the upper limit. That is not, it will not be in between 60 to 90, it will be 90 mg per 100. And when you give this extra dose, it will increase above that. Up to 170 or above 170 mg it will increase, because already there is more glucose sugar in the blood of that patient because he is suffering from diabetes. So it will increase above or up to 170 or above 170 depending upon the severity. And it will take more time because you are getting extra dose. It will take more time to come down, reduce. So, and in the patients who are suffering from diabetes, fasting level is not returned. It will not come down to fasting level because already the glucose level is high and you are given extra dose to test it. So it will not come down. The blood glucose level will be in the range of 170 to 180 mg%. In case of severe intolerance, in case of severe diabetes, the urine will see, in urine you will see the presence of acetone and ketone, different ketone body, acetone, acetoacetic acid, and beta hydroxybutyric acid. Acetone is seen in smell of breath. The other two ketone bodies are seen in the presence is seen in urine, that is acetoacetic acid and beta hydroxybutyrate. These are three ketone bodies. Acetone smell is seen in the breath. Why this is seen in severe intolerance? Because glucose is not utilized. So there is no energy. Energy is produced by lipid metabolism, which will produce acetyl-CoA. Acetyl-CoA, more acetyl-CoA molecules are produced, which are used for synthesis of ketone bodies. So there will be presence of these ketone bodies in urine as well as acetone in breath. Increased carbohydrate tolerance, that is seen in case of hypoglycemic condition. Overactivity of insulin. Increased glucose tolerance is due to overactivity of insulin or decreased activity of counter hormones. Normally in normal person, what happens? The insulin will bring down the glucose level, and other hormones, counter hormones, will increase the glucose level in the blood. Insulin bring down the glucose level. Whenever there is increase, that will bring down, and these other hormones, pituitary or thyroid hormones, will increase so that there is a balance between insulin and other counter hormones. So that's how they will regulate and balance. In a normal person, that is balanced. In case of abnormality, that there is an imbalance in between the insulin and the counter hormones. So here in this increased carbohydrate tolerance, what is happening? There is overactivity of insulin and the counter hormones activity is decreased. That is pituitary hormones, it may be, or thyroid hormones, it may be. There is decrease in their activity. That's why this due to overactivity of insulin, and there is decreased activity of these hormones. And that in this case, in increased carbohydrate tolerance, the normal fasting sugar level is 60 mg per 100 ml. It will be in the lower limit because the glucose is being utilized due to overactivity of insulin, or it may be lower than that. It is a hypoglycemic condition. Hyperglycemia can be treated, hypoglycemia cannot be treated. That one has to understand it. Hyperglycemia can be brought down. The increase in blood sugar level can be brought down, but not hypoglycemia cannot be increased. So it is a very dangerous situation, fatal situation, we can call it as. It's difficult to increase the blood sugar level. Hypoglycemia is cannot be controlled. So in this case, what happens? It may go down. So does not increase even after giving, because the patient is hypoglycemic. Even after giving this extra dose, it will not increase to that extent in case of other, in case of normal GTT or decreased GTT. It is increasing up to 100 mg per 100 ml, even after giving this extra dose of glucose. So after at the end of the test, you will see very low level of glucose. Low levels of glucose are there, which will and produce symptoms of hypoglycemia. You can see hypoglycemic symptoms, which are some examples of symptoms of this hypoglycemia are irregular heartbeat is seen, fatigue, sweating is there, anxiety, irritability, tingling, numbness will be there also. These are some symptoms which can be seen in hypoglycemia. And urine samples will be positive for glucose as well as acetone, because glucose is not utilized, so there will be presence of glucose in the urine, as well as acetone, smell of acetone, because glucose is not utilized and there will be increased production of ketone bodies. So that will lead to smell of acetone in the. So that's the three interpretations can be done by carrying out this test. How to? There are different factors which are affecting quantity of glucose administered. If you, instead of giving 75 grams, if I give 80 grams, what will happen? Nothing will happen. The peak patterns will change. The peak patterns will not change, but it will take more time to return to fasting level. Whatever the peak, I will show the peak pattern in the next slide. So the peak patterns will not change, but it will take more time to return to the fasting level. In case of normal GTT, in other cases, there is no chance of coming down to fasting level. In case of normal GTT, a person who is not suffering from diabetes, that will take more time. Otherwise, in other case, it will never return. In case of a person who is suffering from diabetes, rate of absorption will be low in case of malabsorbed patients and high in case of hyperthyroidism. In these cases, there will be low rate of absorption below in malabsorbed patients, as well as in high in case of hyperthyroid. Diet preceding to the day of the test, you have to see that what type of diet he is taking before he is going for GTT, because that will lead to wrong interpretations. So that precautions has to be followed before carrying out this GTT. Subject on carbohydrate diet, or is on starvation or carbohydrate free diet, and causes hyperglycemia and glycosuria. This already, why I am saying this, this will lead to wrong interpretation. So what are precautions are to be taken before carrying out GTT, that has to be done. So you have to check for the diet preceding the day of test. And priming effect, if you are giving, I have carried out, given a dose of 75 grams at 8 p.m. and again at 9 p.m. Again, he is going for the carrying out the test in another lab. He may go for cross verification. In that case, what happens? The dose priming effect, in that case, peak reached by the second dose will be less than the first dose due to increase in responsiveness of the system. That peak pattern may change. So that has to be checked. So in case of priming effect, if you are carrying out the GTT within a time span of 1 hour, I have carried out, I have given a blood sample, I have taken that glucose and I carried GTT for at 8 p.m. and again doing it the same for at 9 p.m. then this will change the peak pattern. That has to be checked. If there is any peak pattern, that indicates if you are doing this, priming effect will be there in that case. So that will, that's why. So you have to see that these all things have to be monitored. This will affect the tolerance. So you may say the person who is tolerant, you may say is intolerant, or a person who is intolerant, you may say tolerant. These factors are to be considered. And in case of elderly patients, 100% there is decrease in carbohydrate tolerance, as well as in endocrine, the hormones which regulate the insulin in the body, glucose in the body are endocrine hormones. Insulin increases tolerance, and the counter hormones, pituitary or thyroid hormones, will decrease the tolerance. In normal person, they will balance, but these are the hormones which will regulate the glucose metabolism. And these are the peak patterns. This first peak pattern, you can see there. When you give this extra dose, it will increase to up to 140 mg, and then it will come down to fasting level within a time span of 3 hours. Within time span of 1 hour, because you have given, it will increase and then it will come down. Due to overactivity of insulin, it will come down. In normal person who is not suffering, this peak pattern is seen. A peak pattern is seen. In case of mild diabetes, B peak pattern is seen, because already that patient is suffering from diabetes. When you give this extra dose, there is more increase in the blood sugar level. That will increase up to 170 mg within one time of 1 hour, and that may not come down to fasting level even after 3 hours. You can see here. It is after 3 hours also, it is more than 120. It is around 130. So third peak pattern is seen in case of severe diabetic patients. Means is already severe diabetic. So when you give this extra dose, it will increase up to 230 or about 230. In between 230 to 240, it will increase and it will not come down even after 3 hours. So that is the third peak pattern. C peak pattern is seen in case of severe diabetic patients. So markedly reduced tolerance in case of severe diabetes. Thank you. Thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe for my channel, Pharmacy Solutions. Please do subscribe. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you.